Thanks for tapping into the video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. I know I'm finna get into some trouble with this one. We finna talk about Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, we finna talk about Jasmine Crockett, and y'all probably gonna come in the comments. I was always a black man, and all rah rah rah. Man, look, when you wrong, you wrong. You feel me? I love a strong-minded, strong-willed black woman, and surprisingly, a lot of them don't end up marrying brothers, but we do come out on top sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But you got your Candace Owens out there. You know what I'm saying? You got your Angela Bassett's out there. So before y'all come to me talking about some, oh, you just hate black women. I love black women. I just don't like when black women are being used and they don't care that they're being used. All right. So let's get into this video. Jasmine Crockett talking about Chuck Schumer and the shutdown, and she giving her little opinions, and I'm gonna get my opinions too. So let's see what she talking about. Let's see what she talking
Strategy, no message. That's a quote. That's how a Democratic lawmaker was describing the Democratic Senate vote with Republicans this weekend to fund the government with a Republican funding bill, averting a government shutdown. But there was virtually no fight and nothing achieved for Democratic priorities. This comes as our brand new CNN poll this morning shows that the Democratic Party's favorability is at an all-time low.
29%. 29% favorable. So I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. You know what I'm saying? Who's defending these people? Because all y'all that's sitting up here talking about, Trump this, Trump that, and she's one of the main people that's talking about that's really spreading false information and fake news, and it's sad. And because nothing has happened, right? She's talking about cutting. They're gonna cut Medicaid. They cut SNAP. They cut this. They cut that. But what y'all don't understand is so many other ways to cut money from them programs that don't involve cutting money from you directly. Okay? Because that's why behind the scenes he's renegotiating with vendors, and he's trying to get prescription price transparency and all of this other stuff, because there's a bunch of stuff in the background that go with it, right? That's making it cost so much. So he's going through it, and he's individually setting up things for just not people that's on benefits, but for regular everyday American citizens. So let's keep going.
Oh, in this CNN poll, it's just 29% approval. That's a 20-point drop since 2021. Joining us now is a Congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you squeezing us in before you go to church. This has been a rough 72 hours for Democrats. I want to play some of what Democratic Senate Leader Schumer told me on The Lead on Friday about his decision to vote with the Republicans to fund the government. Take a listen.
A government shutdown gives Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Doge almost complete power as to what to close down, because they can decide what is an essential service. If they determine that SNAP, kids shouldn't get food, is not essential, they can just cut it out summarily. They could fire half the workers in the federal government. It would have been a far worse consequence.
So he's saying that the path that House Democrats wanted would have presented a worse consequence. Is he wrong?
He's absolutely wrong. I mean, look at the reality of the votes, right? I understand that the American people are frustrated. Please believe many of us did not sleep because we were calling and trying to impress upon the senators the importance of pushing back in this moment. And as you saw, we had all but one Democrat in the House that voted for this. So that's 212 Democrats in the House. And then you had the vast majority of senators vote for it or vote against it as well. And so
they proud. And this is what I was talking about before. People came in my other Jasmine Crockett video that I took down just because you know it was just insane, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take it down for right now. But I didn't delete it, it's just unlisted, because y'all is insane. Okay, to believe that this woman is for you. Because before y'all come in there talking about, oh, she's for the justice and all of this, well, where was she at when that little baby got unalived out there in her district? Where was she at? Have y'all even heard her mention that? Have y'all even heard her mention that in her district, that little baby that got unalived? See, because y'all made me go do my homework on this woman. So y'all could come in the comments with all of the ad hominem attacks and all this stuff. But I know about this woman. You talking about she wanted to fight for rights and all this stuff. When she started out, she was a ambulance chaser. She didn't go out and try to help nobody get off death row or none of that. She was chasing that bag. Am I mad at her? No, I'm not, for getting that bag. But don't try and throw it at me like she for justice and all of this. Don't do that.
The idea that Chuck Schumer is the only one that's got a brain in the room and the only one that can think through all of the pros and cons is absolutely ridiculous. And Jake, you and I both know that this administration could care less about whether or not they violate the law. We know that we've had to rely heavily upon the courts. And I want to say, as you're talking about the polling on my party, I want to say that it is the Democratic attorney generals and some governors that are standing up against this administration and bringing those lawsuits and winning every single time.
Winning? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, she's like openly this, because like a lot of people that like her don't watch or look into anything. Y'all could come and hate all y'all want, but it's the truth. Because what case have they won? Any case that they brought up has rather put a hold on something or made a judge throw an injunction in there or something like that. But they have not won not one case. Look at Fonnie Willis out there, lost her case. Right now she got on her open records case, so now she got to give over the documents of what went on between her and the Jan 6 committee. Look at Letitia James. She's up here getting exposed for accusing Trump of the same stuff that she's actually doing. And then, the whole migrant stuff, you had judges putting holds on this, holds on that. Look at the buyout program. It was holds on that. What happened with that? George O'Toole let that go through. 77,000 employees got the buyout. Y'all put a hold on one immigration law. So once we beat that case, y'all put another one on him. Then after he beat that one, y'all put another one on him. So he's trying to move around all these lawsuits because y'all putting stuff on hold and this and that. So while he trying to litigate this lawsuit, he gonna try and maneuver stuff this way, and then y'all putting a lawsuit on it. Man, come on, y'all ain't winning nothing. Y'all ain't won nothing. Y'all didn't even just win this shutdown. Y'all wanted to get this shutdown for so bad for some reason, but y'all didn't even get that. Y'all didn't get the shutdown. Y'all didn't even win that.
They are losing in court. Could we do a better job of making sure that the American people know that we are winning in the courts? We probably could. But at the end of the day, it's still Democrats that are winning for the American people.
Some progressive groups are calling for new leadership in the Senate for Democrats. Even House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, your leader, he was asked if he supports Schumer as leader of the Senate Democrats, and he said, next question. Do you think Senate Democrats should replace Chuck Schumer?
I think Senate Democrats have to sit down and take a look and decide whether or not Chuck Schumer is the one to lead in this moment.
You're close with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, then I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years, if we will have elections. And so I definitely think that younger, fresher leadership.
You don't even know if we're going to have an election in 4 years? Lady, stop it. Stop it, because y'all love to sit up here and play this game, right? But then the last two cycles, you Democrats could come in the comments and tell me, how did you have a fair election in the last two cycles? Please just answer that question for me. How was your matter of fact, all of ours, right? Because the first one from 2020 with the whole you know, C void, the whole, because I don't want to get flagged, but for the whole, pandemic, right? Everybody's was messed up, and then you come around this next cycle, y'all didn't even vote. Y'all didn't even vote for the, you know what?
May be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
How to take on the Republicans is a big topic of discussion among Democrats. Last week, you were one of those who participated in a Choose Your Fighter video. It got some criticism online, including Democratic Senator John Fetterman, called it bizarre and reportedly mocked it in the Senate hallway. I will say that your punching looked better than some of your colleagues. Fetterman has been criticizing your party for undignified antics and a sad cavalcade of cell phones during the president's address to Congress. What's your response to Senator Fetterman?
He's not the one to talk about anything. I mean, this is a guy that doesn't seemingly want to own a suit. I'm not really sure. But I don't show up in hoodies when I'm going on the floor. And so the idea that you would say that we could not have a moment in which an influencer asked us to do this. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you.
You know what? And it's one thing, right? This is a nitpick. Now, this is me. This is a nitpick. Y'all notice how she changes her tone in these interviews and how she talk on the floor? You can sit up here and say, oh, no, it's the same code, it's the same cadence, it's the same tone. No, I'm talking about her mannerisms and all of that stuff. I'm talking, y'all know what I'm talking about. Where is it at? Right? She's sitting up here on this interview, she acting like she got some sense. And now I'm gonna say this too about John Fetterman. He need to get a damn suit. He been in the Senate for so damn long. I ain't gonna lie. I know there's a reasoning behind it. I forgot what it was, because people still vote him in. They love him. But yeah, big dog, you need a suit, big dog. I ain't gonna lie.
And tell you that when she asked me to jump, I said, did you ask my older colleagues to do this? Because I feel like you're picking on me because you think that my knees are a little younger. And I did not know who all was in this particular trend whatsoever. And I think that it is important that people see that we're real people. And even if that means that there's a moment to laugh, that's okay, especially since it seems like we're doing more crying than anything. But just know that we were not on the House floor jumping around at all, whereas Senator Fetterman is consistently walking around the Senate chamber, and he is walking around in such a way that they literally had to change the rules in the Senate so that he could walk around that way. So I just don't think that he's necessarily the one to actually have an opinion about this.
Let me ask you about the big news of this morning. President Trump seeking to use the Alien Enemies Act, a wartime authority, a law signed by John Adams in 1798, to deport undocumented Venezuelans that the administration say are dangerous individuals with ties to the gang Tren de Aragua. That gang is obviously associated with a lot of crime, human trafficking, drug dealing, theft, shootings, including in your state of Texas, right outside of your congressional district. Do you agree with this? And if not, what's your issue with the U.S. using any tool at its disposal to remove undocumented, violent people from this country?
Well, my argument is that we already have tools that are available to remove undocumented violent people from our country. And so the idea that you want to go into a zombie law, this is kind of like what we saw in Arizona when they decided to revive a zombie law around abortion. It is the fact that we can't trust this administration to actually use a scalpel, but instead they love to use a butcher knife on things. And so giving them this wide latitude to just kind of go across and just claim that anybody is anything is wrong. And so we do have...
Like how y'all like to claim anybody can be anything and anything could be anybody. That's damn near the new Democrat slogan. And actually, us over here, the rest of the country who's enjoying this presidency, we actually glad that he's going at it with a meat cleaver and not a scalpel like they usually do. Because I just want y'all to know, right? Obama did this, Biden did this, everybody done this. There's nothing new under Trump. They always do this, okay? And this is crazy, right? Because Trump only wants to get rid of at most 10%. At most 10%. I think Obama wanted to get rid of 8 to 13%, and Clinton wanted to get rid of 12%. So he's right there in between, and really a little bit lower than our past presidents before him. And let's not forget, Biden got rid of all of those veterans because they didn't want to get a jab. But you know what? Hold on. Let me finish this.
Courts, we do have processes, we do have laws, and we should just go ahead and use those. There's a reason that nobody else has decided to go back until into Adam's times in order to try to find ways to make sure that we can keep our country safe.
And there you have it, folks. Oh man, I can already see the comments now. But hey, you could be mad all you want. You could try to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it honest. Jasmine Crockett is out there being used by these folks, and y'all being used by them folks too. Because she just sat up there and said a lot of lies in one interview. She be pushing a lot of fake news and misinformation out there all the time. It's crazy. But hey, I know y'all gonna come in the comments and attack me and throw a million dislikes on this video. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But all y'all doing is just, proving me right, and you know what I'm saying. So be mad all you want. Jasmine Crockett up there sounding like a fool. Oh, we might not be able to vote when the next election cycle. They didn't let y'all get a fair election cycle for 2 cycles as the Democrats, and one of them they messed up the whole country. But you know what? I'm gone, man. Tap in with me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you made it to the end of the video, man. Love and peace to everybody. Out of here.